Hi there. I'm just giving a few more minutes for people to join before we start, maybe like another 3 minutes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Thomas. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good morning. This week, the meeting is a bit different time for some people whose clocks changed and are in the Northern Hemisphere, so might be some confusion there. It's 3 o'clock for us, for me in London.
It was also 1 hour too early for me, yes.
Is it? Oh, yeah, we are more overlapping US for a couple of weeks, I think. 2 to 3 weeks, I'm not sure. Okay, welcome everyone who made it. You can update your names on the attendees whenever you would like. And according to the agenda here, we have a few updates from the working groups. So we'll get started with the chaos engineering working group update with Karthik, I believe. Are you prepared?
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Jennifer, for giving me a heads up on today's date. The Chaos Engineering Working Group is making some progress, slow progress. And let me just share my screen to just walk through some of the items that we have and the items that we're working on in the Git repository. Okay, so one of the things that we got done over the last few months was start off by defining a set of terminologies. Most of the information that's available here was living in different Google Docs. So we sort of brought that into a Git repository. Thanks to Amy for giving us this space on the CNCF GitHub board. We have a glossary which we're trying to keep live and add more information about chaos engineering. I've tried to make it a little bit different from the usual glossary in the sense that it is not alphabetically sorted, and instead it is in some kind of a conceptual sequence, the terms that people would encounter as they begin chaos engineering. So we've had some couple of meaningful contributions from members that have taken a look at it outside of the core working group. So that's a positive. So we've sort of started with that. And we also started with user interviews. This is one of the things that we wanted to do as part of the working group. It was part of our initial items in the working model, where we would welcome members from the community, people who are end users, organizations that are end users, vendors or projects in the chaos engineering space, to come and share their viewpoints and probably present their story. The idea is to keep it, it's to keep it mostly platform neutral or tool neutral, but focus more on why a particular practice was adopted, how organizations are doing chaos engineering, what prompted them to do it, what were the challenges around it, and if somebody created a tool, what was the area that they were basically trying to target, what was the gap they were trying to fill, things like that. So there's a slide deck template that we defined that presenters can basically fill into and talk, or some of the user discussions that we've had till now. We've had a couple of them in HelloDoc and IAG, the notes of which will be placed here in the past couple of working group meetings. They were mostly discussion oriented. They were not really demonstrations or presentations from the users. It was more of a Q&A session. Pardon me. So that's what we have going on in the working group. And the idea is to take this learnings and knowledge back into the white paper, which is under construction. and we've got some progress on adding actual content to the white paper. We have a couple of folks working on adding illustrations and diagrams, aided notes on introduction to chaos engineering. Siam is one of those that is helping us with this. Was going to attend this meeting today, but couldn't due to a conflict later. He sends regrets. And most probably by November 12th, which is the next working group meeting, we will have an introduction section available with a significant amount of illustrations and aids. And we also intend to get an initial working draft of this white paper by the KubeCon China. So I think we've kept KubeCons as our milestones. We couldn't do it for North America KubeCon, so the target is to have it the first draft available for sort of advocacy by the KubeCon China. And thanks also to Jennifer for suggesting we add a KubeCon digest around chaos engineering information presented during KubeCon. So we basically went back and added some talks. Some of them are case studies, some of them are updates, some of them are basically integration efforts that were spoken about. So all that information can be found here. We'll hope to add to that in the coming KubeCons. So this is pretty much the update from this chaos engineering work group. We also have the chaos engineering meeting listed on the CNCF calendar, public calendar now. So you can see that here. So feel free to subscribe yourself and start attending these meetings. So if you are having some interesting stories around chaos engineering or resilience in general, we'd love to hear you out, and feel free to add yourself as an interested party and collaborate on some of the efforts that's going on in this group. I think that was a update that I wanted to share today.
Thank you. That's very nice. Just so to double check, you consider then the charter of the group like completed now? Is that the case?
Yeah, so we had a couple of TBD items, especially in terms of security chaos, with folks from SIG security, TAG security joining in. And I think there was a comment that we had on the doc, which was about rewording one of the goals. It's the work group is not really focused on building security tooling or similar such. It's more about defining some best practices and trying to see how chaos engineering can aid in security validation. There are a category of experiments called security chaos experiments, which some of the projects are trying to build. And basically it was about rewording that and putting it, resolving it. So we've committed that into the repository. There is a TBD there on the chairs of the working group. We sort of really went ahead with user discussions and other deliberations without really having a formal chair on this. So that's probably something that we might see being discussed about in subsequent discussions as we reach better shape. So yeah, I think that's one of the things we still need to fill in, but otherwise we have the charter and the goals more or less sorted out.
Okay, yeah, because I believe there is maybe one step of like making it official, like it's taking its course, like it's moving on, at least like nothing is blocking it, I hope. But just so we can like, I think because this working group involves different tags, it's a bit different. I'll just touch base with some of the tags that are involved on this working group as well, just in case for them to just, I'll encourage them to take a look at the charter as well in case they have some comment or concern. And then we can just like officialize it by mentioning to the POC, etc., just to close that. So then, thank you. Okay, great
Sure.
statement. You know, does anyone have any questions for Karthik?
We just had a new entrant in terms of the projects to the working group as well. Kiosk Blade is also a CNCF sandbox project now, and is also participating in the work group. So that's a positive. We have more perspective. And Jennifer, we did sort of share the charter around a little bit. I think Alex also shared it in the observability Slack channel, tag Slack channel some time back, but like you said, it's still probably not very well known amongst the different teams. We probably should go ahead and get people to take a look at it a little bit more. So we'll focus on that, and we will see if there's anything else that the other stakeholders or the tags want to add into these goals. It's something we will work on. Thank you.
Okay, more. Sorry, you said Chaos Blade is a new project. Is that what you said? Like,
Yes.
and do they want to join Sandbox, like to become Sandbox? Is that?
I think they did. I'm not completely sure, but I think it's on the CNCF landscape. And we had some folks from Chaos Blade who have joined us in the work group. We have had their participation in the calls, and they're bringing in some interesting perspective about how they implemented the tool and what was the need and things like that. So it is always great to have more ideas. So that's one of the recent developments since the last update that we gave here about the working group.
Yeah. If there is any, if they want to make a presentation one day about what's.
Yep, I think we could probably schedule that one. I will check with the maintainer or contributor who's joined from Chaos Blade to see if they have any plans of doing a demonstration presentation in the working group.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. So moving on, just checking here. So yeah, do we have any cooperative delivery working group updates?
I can take a shot at that. Robert, so we've had 2 meetings so far, and we're beginning to firm up where we're going. After this, we'll talk about the chairs, I guess. Next steps, once with those chairs in place, is we're going to be, well, we need to drum up a bit of participation, but I think that's also part of defining what we're doing too. So that's on the list. We really want to learn from users, and Robert was probably going to go, I don't know if he's done it yet, but put together a survey so we can, and talk with the CNCF about how we can connect with end users and get some info from surveys and see if they're interested in doing a real interview maybe with us, and then we'll come up with a set of questions to find out what their problems are with infra, so we can make sure we're aligned with what our users need. Next thing, meeting schedule. I think it's the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays. We'll make sure it's on the calendar if it's not. And then a couple items we're kind of pursuing. Like I said, we're refining exactly where we're going, but one of them is deploying infrastructure services straight up, and one is deploying infrastructure along with apps. From a code perspective, we're focusing on that as our kind of sandbox. And also recently, and Scott actually brought up another area which we might consider, which is standards around conventions for infrastructure, such that, like resource models and things like that, such that if things follow those conventions, then they would just work. Or if we drove towards conventions and standards around modeling, then it would be easier to pick up any kind of infrastructure and put it with your app. So those are a couple topics that came up in those meetings. Yeah, I think that's, Robert, if you have anything to add.
not really. I also would have to yell if I had, but I think summarized everything.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Josh. And yeah, another update on the cooperative delivery with the new chairs. Thomas, would you like to give an update?
Yes, I think George already announced that there are some new chairs for the cooperative delivery working group. So we made we asked for nominations the last 2 weeks. Some people were nominated, and in the last 2 days, so the chairs, the tech leads, and the tech liaisons voted for the new chairs. We elected 2 chairs, and these are. And I'm glad to congratulate Josh and Robert. I'm sure you make a good work and drive the progress of the working group further. So thank you for stepping up.
Thank you. Looking forward.
Yeah, thank you both. Thank you everyone who joined the working group and is actively working. Thank you both for the active efforts on shaping their working group as well. It's going to be very, very cool. Yeah, with regards to Potato Head, I would like to ask for update, but also in a few meetings ago, there was one action that was to get some admin to look at a GitHub issue. Josh, I believe now I had a chat with the folks yesterday, and I think we will try to get you access, admin access, and then I think that will be solved. But yeah, apart from that, is there any more update on Potato Head?
Not much. We could use, if anyone has some time we have the base templates moved to the multi-service, customize and Helm and things like that. So if anyone has time I'm working on Flux when I can. If somebody wants to pick up, I'm almost done with that one, but like Argo and Captain and all those, somebody wants to pick those up, that would be great. Yeah, I've been reviewing and merging the past week or so. So thank you.
Okay. A good opportunity if someone wants to get involved and start cracking on with some code and contributions. Right. So next, just small updates like KubeCon China. Thomas and Hongqiao are preparing a presentation on the TAG App Delivery. One finding that we had on the presentation that we did on me and Alois on the KubeCon NA was North America was that very few people knew it existed, the tag. So we were discussing that it would be nice to give more of the message out there, because lots of people just don't know those tags exist, and encourage you to share whatever your social medias, professional, etc. But we also considering a blog post on the TAG App Delivery, perhaps after the presentation on China, so so people can get to know and understand what we are doing. I plan to work on that for the end of the year. I believe that's what we have here. Did we do a digest ourselves? I didn't follow up on getting, but the chaos engineering working group digest really nice. I really like that. So perhaps we could feel the idea of putting it somewhere, for people to do that. I think so. Yeah.
I think this also could make sense for the cooperative delivery working group, what they did in terms of digesting. I'm not sure how you think about it, Josh or Robert, but I think it would be cool if there were talks which deal with this topic.
Yeah, I was actually thinking as Karthik was presenting, like an awesome app delivery markdown file with a list of talks and, you know, maybe eventually a list of projects or something. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll think about that.
Did anyone have any topic to discuss or question or anything to raise? This is what was in the agenda for today. Right, so I'll give you another 20 minutes back of your day. Thank you very much for all the everything that's happening now, and hope to see you folks soon. Have a nice evening, everyone. Thank you, everyone, and congrats, Josh and Robert, and the whole cooperative delivery working group that seems to be moving quite nicely, and the chaos engineering as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Have a great day. Bye.